Hi, everybody. I just wanted to, let's see, I'm going to move this up a little bit. I just wanted to give you an overview of what we're going to be doing for the next, I'm going to give you 2 days to do this. But I'm going to sort of require that you watch the whole slideshow first, because within the slideshow, there are questions. This is called a pear deck. So you're going to put in basically a link to the slideshow, which then you'll be able to respond to. So after a few slides, there's going to be questions and you have to answer those. So that'll be what you do on Monday. And then on Tuesday, you're going to go back through and you're going to fill out the chart based on this information and the stuff in the book. And for those of you that still don't have the book, please come either on Monday or Thursday of this week from 7:30 to 9:30 and get the textbook, because you really want to be looking at all these pictures and captions. And I am not going to keep putting up links for alternative places where you can find the information. This little unit that we're going to do is really only these first 2 days. We're only going through half of the textbook, not even half of the textbook. It's more of like a big reference book. But the kids really like this first unit to look at the ancient fossils, the skulls, the artifacts that come out of, it's called, so the Paleolithic era. Like, I mean, when you look at time, trying to think of like 1,000 years is hard enough. How humans have changed in 1,000 years is very dramatic, right? From like just being, rural farmers to now the inventions that everybody creates that changes us, not to mention 10,000 years, not to mention 1,000,000 years. And 1,000,000 is nothing compared to 1,000,000,000 years. So it's really hard to wrap our minds around how everything changes. Including bodies and biological species. Microbes, as we know, can change very, very fast because they're very small, but humans adapt and change very slowly. So I want to just go through these first couple days to show you what you're going to be doing. Number one, you're going to go through these slideshows in just a second. On your own, reading them more carefully. I'm not going to do that right now. I just want to show you overall what it's going to look like. And then you're going to go through a second time tomorrow with the document. So, I just wanted to show you this. This is basically what you're going to see is the Empire State Building, and this is time of our planet. So 4 billion years is a really, really long time. You're talking about rocks, right? This is a diagram in your book as well. And so, as Earth was this meteor, more and more, you can see in here, basically, the Earth is just rock. Even not human, any life. It takes a long time for the first life to appear. Then, when you get all the way to the tippy top, that's when we see dinosaurs. So all this time, like again, this is 1 billion years ago. This is 2 billion years, 3 billion years, 4 billion years. And only the tippy top of this Empire State Building would be life as we know, as not even as we know it, from the first dinosaurs to the first mammals to Australopithecus, which is the first human upright that we have fossil records of, mostly footprints walking along on two feet. And then Cro-Magnon, which are the most modern humans. So even this span, this is like 4 million years for things to change. So anyway, that's what that picture is. You're going to look at it a lot more carefully. You're going to look at where the oldest skeletons are. People they have all this technology to date rocks beyond just like DNA and modern ways. They've been dating rocks for years, and you can not just rocks, but obviously fossils, which turn into rocks. This is the Horn of Africa, Kenya, Tanzania, Ethiopia. The oldest humans that have been found are right out of this ridge. And remember, the planet was so different back then. It goes through like several ice ages. And then, you have what we have today. So this whole area, even though it was like desert, it's desert today, it was like tropical for a long time. So there's a lot of different changes within the Earth. Then you're going to look at page 2 and 3, and you are going to basically study the human migration out of Africa and where does it go. The Americas is the last place that humans get to. They come across Europe, and you'll see that on the map. They come across Russia, where it's ice, to Alaska. That's the ice bridge. So those are the first humans coming down. And I want you to look at this page and you're going to answer some more questions. This is this is not the oldest it's the most full fossil that was found of upright Australopithecus, she's called. And they called her Lucy. Although since Lucy was found, there's a lot more that has been uncovered. These are just different little, just 3 skulls that have found looking at the difference between 1.5 million years ago to 100,000 years ago. Neanderthals and they're 2 different types of human species. One of them died out. And those were the Neanderthals, and then Cro-Magnon takes over. So basically, same thing, basically putting on to sort of see, it's kind of hard to imagine like this, what people look like. But you can artistically render them. Obviously the skin doesn't last on fossils, so it's hard to see. This is again, looking at a timeline. You're gonna look at that a little bit more. This is just more dating where the oldest humans have been found. This is how they trace the migration. They can study all of these ancient fossils and look at how old they are. And there's never been anything very, older than that has come out of Africa. That's why humans can all trace their DNA back to Africa. Now we look at a change. We go from being hunter and gathering, right? Everybody was in small tribes moving around. And then something huge happens. And this is the agricultural revolution. The first agricultural revolution. We actually go through 3 big series of these. And please remember, when you're watching a video, always pause it, put it in full screen. You're going to learn a lot about okay, now this is a huge change, going from hunting and gathering to get our food to now planting. We domesticate crops, we domesticate animals, and that changes everything about the way humans interact and live. So we have art, right? This is basically agriculture showing what agriculture, how it changes people. Growth in populations. Populations get bigger the more food we have, more variety of food. People are able to stop farming. Some people are able to stop farming because they don't have to survive on having to hunt and gather, and they can make art. They can, start to be doctors or medicine men. They can start to do other things in the tribe beyond hunt and gather, because they don't need everybody anymore because they have so much food. So that's why you start to see things like, people doing different jobs. That's called specialization. This is sort of a rendering of an image of a more modern now. Once they've stopped hunting and gathering, now they're settling in the same place. They don't have to move around with the animals to go hunt them. They're staying in one place, and that's a huge change. And this is civilization. And these are the 8 steps that people need to do in order to have civilization. And one of the first places where you start to see this is in Mesopotamia, which is today's Iraq. So a lot of these places, Egypt, the Nile Valley, India, in the Indus Valley, all these river valleys start to see huge, sophisticated cities. So Mesopotamia is basically where today's Iraq is, and it was an amazing, amazing place. And you remember, you're talking like 10,000 years ago, long time ago. More questions to answer first time around. This is Monday. This is an amazing cave that was found in France by 4 kids and their dog, who basically fell into like a big crater in the back forest of their house, and discovered like this huge underground cave. And it went all the way back, and it was covered with these huge pieces of art. You can't go under there. They did open it up for the public for a while, but it started to erode like within months because of just the traces people were bringing in with their shoes. The funguses, the mold started to grow, and it started to wear away the sides of the caves. So nobody can go in it anymore. It's protected. But there's a great video that I do show you in here of Rick Steves, who's like one of the best travel adventure guys who goes around the world and talks about all these different cultures. And he goes to this place in France, and he goes right next to where they've opened up another cave to try to like could show everybody what it's like in there. And so this is like a little field trip to a museum that you're going to watch. Okay, so you are going to answer again these questions, and then you're going to be done for Monday. But then tomorrow, you're going to go through the chart and fill it out again, looking more carefully at all of this. Okay, you guys, so this is 2 days of work. It should take about, I don't know, an hour each day. You want to really spend a lot of time trying to learn as much as you can. Don't try to go fast through this. If you are just missing it and you are wasting your learning. Okay, so go slow. And step one on Monday will be to answer these questions in the slideshow, which I will grade on Monday, and then Tuesday you're going to go through and do that chart. Okay, bye, you guys. I will see you on Tuesday. And as a reminder, we have a new link, and you will need you'll need to click that link and do the password that's right under it. It's only going to be there for like 5 minutes before our Zoom meeting. Okay, so it's going to be a new password every Zoom meeting because we do have to lock down and make sure that we're being safe. Okay, there's no sharing of that password. Don't send it out to anybody, because if you do, then if somebody hacks, we know that came from this classroom, and we don't want to be, trying to investigate that. So anyway, we will see you on the Zoom first thing on whenever we have our Zoom session. You know where it is. I'm not going to say it because I think I'm going to use this slideshow for the next quarter as well. How do I stop this? Go to stop. Come on.